So you lived in the 151 area, and was that area made a ghetto? Was it enclosed?
No, no. This was not a closed gate. This was not closed even until they took us, the Germans, away. Never was closed. The only time that they surround the ghetto is when they wanted to take the men. And I suppose after they start taking all the families, because I was not there. I was in a labor camp when they took all the families away from the area 151.
So how were the young people amassed? What happened? Why were you selected, or how did it come about that you were selected for labor later on, and you didn't go into deportation?
Well, when we heard the one area in another part of Salonika, they took the Jews away. And as a matter of fact, at that time, they spread the rumors that the Germans, they were trying to build a Jewish state someplace in Europe. And that's how was the rumors, and it was easy for them to take the first area. Then after they took the first area, they spread the rumor they will stop deporting the Jews if they needed 3,000 to 4,000 men, 18 to 35 years of age, to do some work for the Germans, if we volunteer. And as a matter of fact, this rabbi was an Austrian rabbi, Dr. Koretz, which I forgot the other man over there, maybe you remember the name better. They came to our area and they held a meeting asking us we should volunteer to work for the Germans. And of course we refused. So a couple of days later, the Greek police surrounded the area, and they were not successful getting as many men as they needed. So a few days later, the German soldiers surrounded the area. And then they went from house to house, and they took the men. And after they took all the men, then they sent it to different areas to work. Now, and then there is where the partisans got in touch with me.
So what area were you sent to?
I was sent to Lianokladi.
Where's that in Greece?
Lianokladi is between Athens and Thiva. And every morning we'll go on an open boxcars on the train, and the train will take us all the way to the mountain. The locomotive will leave, and we'll come in the evening after we fill all the boxcars with gravel. And that gravel, they use it for the railroad, to enlarge the railroad stations. Now, my job, as I mentioned to you before, with my father's blessing, was always behind me. From so many men that we were working over there, they chose me to be a water boy. And the water was a mile away from where we were working. And they let me go all by myself, no soldiers, just alone, with 2 pails of water, go to the mountain, fill it up with water, come back, distribute the water to each worker, go back again. And then one day, the partisans were there. The partisans were there. And they told me, hey, you're all by yourself. Nobody's looking at you. Why don't you come with us? I said, oh no, how can I go with you? My family is in Salonika. They're waiting for me. And as a matter of fact, we were writing letters to our families with the idea they are there. He says, your families are gone. They're taken to Poland. They're killing them. I couldn't believe it. Nearby was a very small city, you know. Before coming down with the water, I used to go down there and knock each door and fill it up a big sack with bread, cornbread, everything. We're farmers. And they used to tell me, why don't you stay with us? Don't go back. But we were naive. We didn't know.
Were there Jews, though, that escaped from Yano Klavi?
One escaped, I think there were 3 or 4. But one escaped, which they caught him on the train right before Athens.
What was his name?
I forgot. But he was executed there. They shot him. They kept him alive for a week. Food and everything. And then one Sunday, there were a lot of non-Jews laborers over there. And they gathered everybody, they put a big show, the Germans. And they executed him. But there were 3 more, and I forgot their names. That they escaped and they didn't kill them.
Mm-hmm. And how long were you in Yano Klavi for?
In Yano Klavi, I think we were around maybe 4 or 5 months, something like that. And then after Yano Klavi, they brought us back to Voronezh. And at that time is when we realized and found out. And as a matter of fact, when they brought us back, with me there were 2 other musicians in this labor camp, and we came back.
What were their names?
One was Alcher. I forgot. It's been so many years. Mm-hmm. So anyway, the one, as soon as we came into the camp, and we were waiting over there, there was one guy, his last name was Hasson. Hasson, he was a collaborator with the Germans. And he spotted me. He knew me from the club. They played the accordion. And the other 2. And he says to the men that were working with him, take these 3 men out, take him to the shower, give him clothes, and bring him to my office. So we did this. We come to the office. We're talking about chatting. He says, where are your instruments? He says, I said myself, my father gave the accordion to one of the Gentiles, because at that time in Greece, everybody was hoping that we are coming back. And some of they have good Greek friends, you know, and some they give some good, valuable things to them to hold it till they come back. So as the other one, well, use it. So he says to the man, why don't you take these 3 men with you, go to the city, and let them get the instrument, and come back. Now,
Moss.
So Vidal Hasson instructed you or encouraged you to go back to get your instruments, and then what happened?
So with that man, we went together, and we came to the central of the city, and he said to us, listen fellas, right now is that time. Each one of you go on your own, pick up your instruments, and at 3 o'clock we're going to meet over here. And stupid enough, each one of us, when I picked up the accordion, and we come back, and the man was not there, and we waited for him. We could escape, we could go any place we wanted. So the man came back, and we came back to Voronezh, and we were playing every night for Vidal Hasson. And as I said before, then we learned there's no Jews left in Salonika, until one day we noticed that they brought the Spanish Jews. And what they did with us also, they sent a word to the head of the Spanish Jews that they should gather together in the synagogue Saul. Only the head of the families that they wanted to talk to. So they went over there, and as soon as everybody was over there, the German soldiers surrounded the synagogue, and they brought them to Voronezh. After they brought him to Voronezh, they took one head of the household with a soldier to go to their homes and bring back their family and whatever belongings they could bring along. Once they were in the Voronezh, everybody, they told them they are going to send them to Spain because they were Spanish citizens. And they told them, leave you, of course, when everybody puts the best things in the suitcase, the Germans, they knew they must have some gold and things like that. They said, put this in that room, we're going to guard it for you. Just take only whatever cash you have with you. And they told them that with the cash that they have, they should buy their own food to put on the train when they take them to Spain. They did this, and it came the time when they start the time to transport them to the trains. And for each wagon, they had a horse and buggy filled up with food. And guess who was the one that was getting the buggy to the train? Me. All by myself. It was almost like 3/4 of a mile from the gate to the railroad station. Unloading the food, come back, until one time a Greek police stopped me, and he tells me, hey fella, where are you going? I say, I'm delivering this food to the station. Are you crazy? You have any soldiers guarding you? No. So why are you doing this? Why you don't run away? You have two choices. Run with the buggy, the horse and buggy, sell it, you have some cash, or leave it over here and run. Oh no, I said. My family is waiting in Poland, because this was the room. This was the stupidity that all the Jews, we acted so stupid in these days. Until came the time that they wanted to evacuate the rest of the Jews who were over there in Voronezh, and they put us on the telecars. Now, from the time we left Salonika till before Austria, the doors of the cars, they were both open. They were only 5 German soldiers guarding close to 4,000 men and a few women, because in the meantime they had a few women that they caught them, they were hiding, you know. But for us, close to 4,000 men, 5 German soldiers. I had my instrument, the accordion. The other guy had the saxophone. We were playing and singing like we were going to a picnic. When the train will stop for a certain reason, they let us go down, free, and go back to the cars. Until we arrive before Austria, then they lock the cars until we arrive, which we found out later, in Birkenau. When we arrived over there, it was in the middle of the night. Meantime, in order to do our things, urinating, things like that, which they didn't have nothing over there, we had our knives a hole and the train in the bottom. We used to do that. So when we arrived at the middle of the night in Birkenau, we found out it was Birkenau. They opened the doors and they told us to come out and line up in line of two. And we came in front of a soldier, of an officer, and one to the right, one to the left, whatever. And to one side, there were trucks with a Red Cross sign. When the selection was finished, and the trucks left, and we are marching, incidentally, we marched only 231 people. And I was the lucky one within the 231. As we are marching, and the soldiers that were with dogs in there, and they knew that we came from Greece, and Greece was famous about tobacco. They were asking cigarettes, and meantime we knew a little bit German here and there, what here and there. We asked them, where are the people went by the truck? He said that these two officers, they knew that you were working for the German army. And they sent these people to a different camp, to a different place for relaxation. And you guys, you're going to the city. See these lights over there? That's the city where your family is. They're waiting for you. As we came close to the lights, we saw the barbed wires and the gate, and we realized that is no city. And we went through one barrack, taking all the clothes out,